Hey guys, Jared here with Extreme Pursuit Outdoors, and today I'm going to show you how to change the worn out D-loop on your bowstring. Alright, before we actually get started, you're going to need a piece of BCY D-loop material. You can get this stuff just about anywhere. eBay, archery shop, Walmart, wherever you can find it. But I got some green here to match my string, and you're going to want to cut it just about 4 inches. I've installed a lot of D-loops, and over time I've narrowed down the measurement on these things to get them about the right size. I like a fairly small loop on my string. But cut it to 4 inches, and you're going to want to burn a nice mushroom on each side. It's really important to get a nice mushroom on each side so it doesn't pull through the knot whenever you get it installed on the string. So as you can see on this side, I've got it fuzzed out a little bit. I'm going to fuzz that out pretty good size, and then take your lighter. You don't want to necessarily catch it on fire, you just want to heat it up a little bit. You can't catch it on fire, it doesn't matter. But take and push it against the side of the lighter there. Burn a little more. Once you get a good mushroom on each side, 4 inches long, we're ready to tie it on there. Alright, let's get started here. As you can see, this is my D-loop that I've got on there, and this has been through a whole summer's worth of shooting and a whole deer season, so it's starting to get pretty frayed around the knots and around where my release clips on, so it's definitely time to replace it. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off of there, and the easiest way to do that is just cut right through one side of the knot. And as you can see, I've got a bit of serving right on the top knot. And somebody texted me. What that does is it keeps that top knot from sliding when you install it, but it also is a good marking point for where that top knot goes. So if you don't have any serving on top of the knot, take a silver Sharpie and mark where that knot is or where the bottom knot is, just for a reference point, because if your bow is tuned and you have to do this in the middle of the season or something, you don't want to have to go through and retune your bow. So go ahead and mark that any way you can, just so you can get that right back in the same spot. Go ahead and cut this side off too. And anytime you're working with a blade around your bowstring, obviously you have to be really careful. Alright, there's the old loops off. So we've got our new loop here, and this is real easy to do. Start off folding it in half like that, holding it under the string, and you take your 2 loose ends, feed them right back through that loop. You basically want to grab the bottom, pull it through until that mushroomed end meets up with the rest of that knot. Just like that. And we're going to go ahead and tighten this side down as tight as we can get it, just with our fingers. So just grab a hold of it and pull it as tight as you can get it. It's not super important that you get it all the way tight, because we're going to finish that here in a second. Alright, we've got our top knot tied. It's time to finish this thing off. Alright, you're going to take your loose end, go underneath, and back through the loop. You're going to come around same side, and then go back through there, just like this. You're probably thinking that's way too small, it's too short, it's not going to work. But it sure is going to work, because I'll show you how to tighten this up. Alright, I got these pair of pliers that I bought, and they've got the grooves in the end of them, and that's just what they're for, is doing these D-loops and tightening them up. I bought these. These are Easton brand. I think they're like 14 bucks. But you know, if you don't have something like this and you need it in a pinch, you could use a pair of needle nose pliers and take a file and put the groove in there, or you could take a screwdriver and stick through here. I mean, anything that you can get in there, you know, to give yourself some leverage and pull. But if you're doing a bunch of these and you're setting up your own stuff, I definitely recommend getting a pair of these pliers. But to use these is real easy. You just start it through the loop and just start opening up the pliers. At the same time, kind of try to push the knots together. Go ahead and tighten those with a good amount of force. And that's it right there. As you can see by having that serving on top, I got it right back in the same place. And shouldn't be any problem with tuning. Should all be in the same spot. And, you know, if you have to do this in the middle of the season, I definitely recommend shooting it a few times and checking it. But I mean, these D-loops are easy to do. Just be sure to get the mushroom ends really good. As you can see, that's what keeps the knots from coming apart. And you definitely don't want those coming apart at full draw with a 70-pound bow, because you're going to have a mess on your hands. But that's how it's done right there. It's pretty simple. And there's no need to drive to a bow shop in the middle of the season if you have to replace one of these. All you need is a little bit of material, learn how to tie these knots, and you're good to go. And this is something that's real easy to practice at home. I mean, you could tie in another loop below the one you've already got and practice it and take it back off. And that's what I usually do, just make sure I can do it pretty good. But that's how it's done. Hope this helps you guys.